Friday. Sorry, no Kerbals. I tried, but I didn't have the right mods. There were things missing. It was just, it was not a good thing. And I've been so busy. Sorry about last night, by the way. I had every intention to stream, but some things came up and I had to get some stuff taken care of. And, well, by the time I got everything done, I looked at the clock and it was like 9:45, and I figured, well, I guess we're not doing anything now. So, yeah, that's the story there. But for everybody who's here now, thanks for joining. Happy Friday. And we're going to do some more Twisted Metal. When we last left our hero, we were working on this little girl here. And I seem to think that everything on this was pretty much ready to go. We wanted to get some of these parts up to like 75-80% if we could. So we're going to look at what parts we can pull off this thing and fix and go that route. So those control arms we can do. We could probably swap in all new bushings. I could probably repair a lot of this stuff through here. So let's start with this back end. I don't know if we could take that drivetrain down. Let's see what we can do. We can do the same thing here. If you notice, yeah, those upper control arms I already did. We need to do these lower control arms. Maybe the subframe. Maybe get up into the engine bay, clean up some of these things. I might be able to even do these radiators. So yeah, that's where we're going to start. We're going to see if we can tighten some things up. I might even pull these tires off. Get the rims looking all fancy schmancy. We're going to go that route. So let's go ahead and get started on that. We'll start by taking this wheel here off. Now the question is, I don't know if I can't fix these anyway. I don't know if these tires are the same size on this thing. So let's just zoom up here. Yeah, okay, so we were 295 30s in the rear, 245 35s in the front. So there is a lower profile tire on the front than the rear. Um, they're both 20 inchers, so we got to be sure when we put them back on that we get the right tires in the right place. Now that we know that little tidbit of information. We'll pull these off, get this off. We'll yoink you down. I gotta turn my volume down because it's like super duper loud. There we go. Uh, 60%. I think we'll be okay. It's only halfway worn out. I mean, a lot of these parts, they'll clean up nice. And really, you know, I might get those tires off, just discover the tires are in bad shape and the rims are in really good shape. At which point, you know, let's just do the tires. So give this thing just a simple little refresh. we'll have to look at the bushings and see if we have to replace the bushings, but I think we might be okay with the bushings. We'll see what happens. All right, we're gonna start with these. Separate tires. We're gonna separate these guys first. Because I don't want to mix up the front and the back. Yeah, that rim was 59%, so I think we're on the right track here. Oh my gosh, my mouse is jittery. And this race tire is a little worse for wear. Let's come over here and turn these rotors. Every one of these parts should be repairable except for the bushings. And maybe the brake pads, but I'm not concerned about that. This is the cheapest way to renovate the car. Let's see what we have. Sort, condition. Yeah, those bearings are good. Bushings are good. This tire, though, it's 59%. They're clearly burning out on one tire. You can see that here. I mean, that there's all tire. That's burnout tire there. That's what that is. Maybe we'll slap some new paws on the back of it. Let's go in. Wonder if I should do some new bearings too. No, they're still about 50%. We'll call 50% our bottom line there. $295 30 20s. 295 30 20s. 2. Wow, almost 2,000 credits just for those tires. Them spendy tires. Makes them almost $500 a piece. Oh, we wanted the brake pads too, didn't we? That's okay. The car will sell better if people see nice, shiny rubber. Not that that's a thing, but... it makes me feel better. Putting it all back together. We're going to have all the good bushings on one side and all the bad bushings on the other. Let's put the weaker side on this side because the driver's going to be on the other side more. Gotta have that weight. Gotta support their fat butt. What am I missing? Oh, the upper control arm. That's what I'm missing. Yep, we want the green ones. See, that's why I did it that way. Whoosh. O'Malley the alley cat, I got that wonderlust. So we had that assembly all put together. Held on by the CV joint. Alright. We want to... Oh, we're at 71%. Got to get it above 75 so it's all green. Which means we do have to do the front end. So that's where we come in here. Yeah, I think once we get all these parts done, we'll be sitting pretty. Pop you off. Because I had already done those, so... we want to pull this guy off, because we got to do this cross member. Come on, get the right one. Focus! We're not even in the rust belt, we got rusted bolts. It was just a loud car rumbling by, Polly. I know. I know. I know you want to go bark at them and tell them that they shouldn't be making that much noise in the middle of the night, but it's not the middle of the night, so... Alright, let's separate these tires. That's 74%. That should be in pretty good shape. Rim is 75, tire is 72. That's not too bad. We need to do the rotors. Gotta do the rotors. This should put us into the 75% mark. This probably put us maybe around the 80%? I don't know. Hmm. 78. Yeah, let's get a new one of those. Let's go ahead and get a new one of these. You know what? Let's get all new sway bar parts because we can't fix those. May as well get some new tie rods. Get that whole steering system 100%. Don't need those. I just bought. See, this is what happens when you won't pay attention, kids. You spend more money than you need to. Let's see here. That's 73. That's 67. It'll be fine. These are 245s. 245, 30, 20. 35 20s. We want two of these. 20 inchers. They're already stinking expensive. 235, 245 35s. Oops, we don't want to separate those. We just barely mounted them. Alright. We'll put this together. Sorry, my nose is running here. Got a wee bit of an allergy. Alright, I guess cross member it is. I don't think this thing's being held together by anything. What do you think? Oh yeah, it's got that bottom control arm. Oh, we're okay. I'll put our steering together here. Put our upper support together here. Put our sway bar in, get our sway bar link in. Put the bushings in. Because we got to mount this to the frame somehow, right? Whoosh. I can't see through a radiator. I didn't look to see what condition the two shocks were in. I wanted to put the better of the two on this side. Well, maybe it'll balance the car out this way. Tire. And where does that put us? 74. Oh. Alright, what do we have that we could, we've got these things here. Well, those air filter housings, we do those. That'll put us right where we need to be. We could probably save some of these parts. Push me out of the way. What's wrong with you? You down here, warehouse 5. I'm gonna check those tires. Still gonna need to run this thing over for paint. Because the clips alone are gonna push this thing over the edge. Yeah, run this thing through the alignment shop too. Get the alignment squared away. I don't know if I can repair that, can I? Guess we're gonna find out. Let's go ahead and take that. We're right there, there. Whoa, hey! That wasn't fair. Those things are kind of rough to fix, aren't they? Those air filter housings didn't clean up, did they? That's okay. That should be good. This should definitely put us over the 70% mark. Or 75% mark. Nice and shiny. Why doesn't it look nice and shiny? Why does it still look like it's dirty there? Got the clips. Got the clips. I guess it's a whole lot better than having the drips. What am I hitting on down here? My son will put stuff under my desk while I am at work. And when I come home, it's like I kick a whole new breed of everything. Oh, can't forget this. Look at that. Now if we come in here, 76. Oh, that means I gotta get it up to 80. Running out of parts. Well, I could evac that brake housing. Oh, I didn't put that lid back on. That's not going to put me above the 80%, though. And I had just put some nice clean fluid in that, too. Okay, let's come up here to the front. Let's go ahead and evac this power steering. Ooh, that was dirty. Could replace that. Yeah, we can fix this. One of the things we can fix. 64%. $59. Oh yeah, that'll do her. That'll learn her. May as well pull that back off. We'll clean these injectors up. Think that'll get us to our 80%, or not really? Toss in a new fuel pump. We could take some of those bushings and replace the bushings that are on the cross member. But we only have 3. Yeah, we'll save those for another project. We could swap out a couple of those idler pulleys. Let's see where this gets us. Let's see where this gets us. All right, Ro. What are you doing with my dog? Did she just try and trip you? Okay, pick those up. I don't even know why those were on the floor. Yeah, she's trying to murder you for some reason. What'd you do to her? Did that crash on you? No. Well, yeah, because it's a 4 gig video card, but I mean, that game really requires a minimum 8. But if you run the graphics properly, you should be just fine. But it runs better, doesn't it? We put a spare 4 gig, well, it wasn't a spare, it was one that I had in my server, a 4 gig video card in her computer, because she was having trouble playing Red Dead, because she was on a 2 gig video card. We're only at 77%. Oh yeah, because we had that to replace. You know what? We're going to pull this. We're going to put a new one of those in. And, oh, we were going to try and repair that too. Oh, well, I guess we'll just have to replace those, won't we? Oh, that was already a new fuel pump. Well, that doesn't help us then, does it? Well, crap. Running out of cheap stuff to replace here. We're gonna start getting into some spendy stuff if we go any further. I think we're starting to get to that nexus where, you know, the parts we can replace are deep inside this engine. We probably pull these off. We haven't refilled them yet. Put a new tensioner on. We'll put a new belt on. Those should be... Hey, new level. We're gonna take that whole upper level off there. Okay, I know we've got one of these. I don't think we have one of these. But those are cheap and cost effective, so we'll start with that. Let's go repair first, and then we'll select. Yeah, if we're gonna just pretty much be these. Alright, we know we need a new one of these. We need a new one of these. New one of these. We have one of these. I will need a new one of these. Do you need to go back outside? I can't think anything else that we might need today. That won't work for this engine, no. It looks like it could, but it won't. Did I buy... I don't think I bought any of those other parts, did I? No, I never bought any of the other parts. Of course I didn't. Serpentine belt, we need him. Water pump puller, we need that. We need the belt tensioner. And we need idler roller A. Okay. I think we're going to get to the point to where we still won't be at 80%. Because the engine will be so low health-wise compared to the rest of the vehicle. Fuel pump, okay, so we got all that. Where are we at? 78%. See, this is what I'm talking about. We could replace you. Let's go ahead and work on that thermostat. We could probably do these throttle bodies. love my job so much I'd do it 12 times. Maybe I should replace those bases. Alright, we'll yoink you, we'll yoink you, we'll get these good manifolds. Out comes the thermostat. Wow, if I would have known that. No, we need to get these filter boxes. That's going to be part of my journey to 80. Got a feeling I'm going to have to pull those axles and drop that transmission down. Yeah, maybe I could find some. See if any of these things can be repaired. Probably the thermostat. Oh yeah, these throttle bodies. We wanted this, 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 this. This. Should have everything else. Let's come in here. Let's look and see. We don't have any coils, do we? Not here. Let's go to our warehouse number 5. See, some of those aren't even in better condition. I got a couple of 70s here. Sort by condition. Ooh, we got some pretty good plugs. We'll replace the worst of the plugs. And we'll replace the worst of the coils. This doesn't have an ECU type A in it, does it? Air filter type A. That's just air filter. Okay. Fuel filter, yes. Air filter base, yes. Air filter intake housing, yes. Air filter type A, yes. Alright, this darn well better get me to that 80%. Swing us around, sweet chariot. Oh! No, I didn't want to do that yet. No! I need to replace coils. What am I doing? Oh no. See? Love my job so much, I do it 22,000 times. Yoink! 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 Hey, at least I didn't get it all put back together and then realize, oh yeah, coils. And I got spark plugs replaced too. Okay, 71, 72, 65, 76, 78, 69. Let's go ahead and pull those two. 69, 61, that's gotta come out. 65, that's the head. 71, 70, and 65. So that 65's gotta come out. 71, 70, and 65. That's gotta come out. Okay. Reinstall. Let's put a 92 in here. Let's come over here. Let's put a 92 in here. Let's come here. Put an 80 in here. Come over here. Put an 82 in there. Put an 81 in there. Alright, let's reevaluate. We got 69, 92, 82, 71, 70, 81. Come over on this side. We have 80, 78, 76, 92, 72, and 71. That one can come out. I'll drop you in. Okay. 78, 78, 75, 75, 72, 71, 71, 71, 71, 69, 66, 66. Okay. Progressively got worse there towards the end. But there are better parts. All new parts. Here's the clip. Roll the clip. Right. Oh, yeah. It is an ECUA. A better ECU. Yay, 80%! We can sell that thing for a pretty good penny now. We bought it for $73,000 at auction. We need to go paint it, though. We need to paint it. We need to make sure it's got some alignment done to it. You see, we still got a lot of engine parts that I haven't checked out. Ooh, that oil's bad. We need to replace that oil. Oil filter was 73. Oh, those are the eggs that they brought.
Oh, I thought they were bringing like eggs.
No, those are the eggs that Steve had. Because I said I wanted those. These came all the way from Russia. See? Fabergé egg. Okay. Should we save some of this stuff or should we just sell it? I, at the very least, want to put my fuel pump back in here. I think I should just probably dump it all. Alright, let's refill some fluids. What's that? Hey, Vulcan, how goes it, man? You have a good day? Is it raining out there? I don't think it's raining out there yet, is it? Yeah, we don't have any rain yet, so. But we're pretty far inland, so I don't think it's gonna affect us much. We've had some really good rain right now, and it's pretty dang chilly right now. We're down in the what'd it say, like 61, 62 degrees outside right now?
I don't know. This room's pretty hot, so I knew it was gonna get down, and it was 70 earlier.
Let me see where we're at right now. We are currently currently 64 degrees right now. Well, 65. Let's see. 65. Yeah, I'm not sure we'll get the rain, but it's we'll see what happens. One of these caps. I think it was this one up here. Yeah, it's one of these. Well, let's send this thing over to paint. I think we're... Oh, I still got to get oil in this thing. As we just did an oil change. It was filthy. Alright, paint booth, you go. No, that's a car wash. You know, that is a nice green. Should I keep it that green or should I change the color? I'm almost wondering if I should take it a shade darker. How would it look with... almost like it better with the green. That's a factory color right there with the pearl. Yeah. What are you looking for?
I'll be dipped.
Where are you gonna go to?
Movie.
You're gonna go steal my car. There he is. There's the troublemaker. No, we want it. We want it super shiny. That's too chrome though. I guess we could make it rougher with that clear coat. I don't think I want it quite that dark though. That's starting to shape up, huh? Looking a little better. Maybe we'll tone the roughness out of it just a little more.
Nora's playing Red Dead. What are you streaming?
What do you think?
Oh, hi Tesla.
That's not a Tesla. This is an Aston.
Oh. That there just looked like a Tesla.
Maybe tone that clear coat down just a smidge. Yeah, I like that better. That's a nice color green. We're gonna go with that.
Isn't Aston Martin's favorite color green?
I don't know. I think it's blue. All right. Oh, that is a pretty color. All right, to the test path so we can do the alignment.
When did you get it?
When did I get what?
The Aston.
Last stream at my auction. Okay, go get ready for bed. Here, take these out to the kitchen. I didn't want to run it down the test path. I wanted to do some alignments. What? It was just the salad that's on the counter. Yeah, we had already tested all those. Hey. Whoa, those things are way out. I mean, I did tear the whole front end off this thing, so. Yeah, that looks good. All right. 29,220. That's actually higher than it was. Now we got it fully painted. Let's run it over to the dyno, see what she turns. Wow. I haven't looked at the National Hurricane Center to see. When I looked at it this morning, it looked like it was just brushing the coastline, but if it's changed course. Yeah, I think we're a little far inland. I don't think it's going to do too much to us. I think we're just going to be on... If we get any rain, it's going to be some of the outer bands of it. I don't think it's going to hurt us too much. Alright, well, it's a little less power than what it had factory, but look at that horsepower band, though. I mean, that's like straight across. It's pretty awesome. No swap options. Alright, selling the car, 102,000. Klaboom. I don't know if 29 goes by me or not. I don't think we're that far east. No, it doesn't. It doesn't run well. If you look at the direction that it goes, it kind of does, but not enough. Um, yeah, look at a lot of the bands. It doesn't look like any of the bands are directly over us. We have some dark clouds. We're gonna probably get some rain, but I don't think it's gonna be too drastic for us. Not like the people in Raleigh. The people in Raleigh are just gonna get plowed. In fact, I heard several people in Raleigh, several of my friends who work in Raleigh, were sent home early today because of it, just so they could be home and be ready. That's gonna be a nice car. Wow, that frame is bad. It's terrible. Oh man. Oh well, I can turn around and sell it for $2,000 right now. Make a profit. Yay. What was the interior at? 39. I bet we're gonna detail it and come out with 59. Yeah, we straighten up the frame on this thing. Oh, close. 58. I was real close. We straighten up the frame on this thing. It'll be slicker than snot. And I put that on the wrong lift, didn't I? Okay, there we go. That's a Jaguar XJS. My mom used to have one of those. She really liked it. It was fun to ride in. But it's been long since sold, and she sold it when it started having some airbag and transmission issues. That thing had almost 300,000 miles on it when she sold it. She bought it used from a neighbor of hers. Can't remember exactly how much she bought it for, but I know it was fairly cheap. Where is that 2% here? Rear window. That's it. Now we should be 1%. Alright. Take you. Go. Yes. Straighten that thing out. Move you over to here. Wow, 27. So that should be 100%, which it is. This should be 100%, which it is. Okay. While we're working on body parts, I may as well take the body parts off this and go fix them too. Just for the smiles and giggles. Get it all done at the same time. Not like it's gonna mix and match when I go to put them all back together, because you can only put one part on one car. And if a part don't fit, ain't gonna fit. Oh! Right? Ah, that's twice. Alright, let's see what parts I botched. We want to sort by condition. Get you guys some plates. We're gonna make these things 100% because why not? Just seems plain silly. Actually, it looks like we got more parts off the... But it works. Jaguar. Well, we don't need that. Okay, Jaguar. Yes. Jaguar. Jaguar. This thing's gonna need a lot of paint. And I think we're gonna need... That's right, we needed 2 plates. I think if we just go with the generic plates. This is mostly the glass. I don't think we'll have any hard parts. Well, the headlights and the tail lights, yeah, those are going to be the hard parts. We're gonna buy 4 of you, 4 of you, 'cause I think I only need 1 of you for each one car. I don't have a front bumper? What? Did this one not have one? You know what? It may not have had one. I think I'm going to leave it silver. The silver looks really good on this car. Okay, apparently I need a mirror too. Come over here to the other half of the car now. that one. Clear those 2 license plates out. Let's go to the Jag first. Okay. Let's see where we're at now. Oh, look, I can put a front license plate on this one. Can't on you, though. Alright, so we're at 100 and 100. And we're still negative. Okay, Jaguar's going to require a little more work. How about this bad boy? 100 and 100. Wow, we can turn around and sell this thing for almost a $50,000 profit. Just from putting on that bodywork. I think we may need 100% this car. Maybe performance the living crap out of it. Put high quality parts on this thing. Ah, we're at the 1 hour mark, huh? Alright, we're gonna sell these parts. Everything below 70%. Okay. What do we have condition-wise on these things? Oh, that's right. These things had batteries in them, didn't they? Excuse me while I loosen my belt. It's cutting into my belly. Just a minute here. My belt's not loosening. There we go. Okay. Much better. All right. Did we run all these? Nope, because we can now take a... we're getting experience for it. Sorry. My belt was still... It had folded in and was pushing in on me. 2 tires. Yay! Okay. That piece of paper was annoying me. This piece of paper was annoying me. This is another one of those. Get your auto loan from us. Or not auto loan, auto warranty. The stupid warranty things. The warranty on your car's about ready to expire. Yeah, that expired, 40,000 freaking miles ago. How did I not run this on that, how did I not run that on the Aston? I should have. I think I was gonna do it last time and I ran out of time and never got to do it. This car doesn't have an OBD issue. Why not? It's a 91. It should. I mean, maybe a little bit of peril? I don't know. Does this have swap options? It doesn't. Single. I wonder if we should just build a new motor for it. Let's extract some fluid from you, because that's some dirty looking fluid in there. Let's extract some fluid from you. That was some really bad looking fluid there. And I'm doing this because we're going to have to pull all this stuff out anyway. We're going to do another 100%er, guys. 100%er. There's no coolant? Oh, right here. Alright, start pulling things. Well, that'll come out with the engine, won't it? It's an interesting air filter. We're gonna take it down to the bones. Tell you what, I got the window open next to me. Oh, that cool breeze. Feels so nice. Those look like 16-inchers. Our scam is that they only fix the estimate. Well, and that was one of the things I was saying the other day is on Reddit, someone was asking about those on Ask a Mechanic. And I basically said, you know, I've got a lot of guys, 3 of my buddies own repair shops. And they absolutely hate these extended warranties because something goes wrong, right? They fix just the one part that deemed to be the problem. So if you throw a rod, okay, they will replace just the rod in the engine. They won't fix any of it. If it blows out the block, if it, you know, eats the whole engine alive, that's not their problem. The problem was the piston. They will replace just that and pay for the labor to replace just that piston. It doesn't matter the rest of the whole engine blew itself up. Those extended warranties, they cost, you know, literally thousands of dollars, and then they just don't cover anything. And my buddy's just like, you know, people come in, oh yeah, I've got this extended warranty, blah blah blah, and he doesn't even bother calling anymore because he knows that they're not going to cover anything. He's gone the rounds with them so many times. He's just tired of the fight. He just tells people, I'm sorry, I can't honor this extended warranty. I would still love to keep you as a customer, but I can't. If you want to talk to them and see what they'll pay for it, that's great. But I'm not going to sit here and try and defend my business to a bunch of criminals. Because that's literally what he has to do. Because when he goes to tell them, hey, they just covered this one part, they get mad at him. They don't get mad at the company that sold them the warranty, right? And they think, well, you're just trying to rip me off. You're just no. It's because the company doesn't cover anything. So don't get those extended warranties. They're just garbage. It's not worth the paper it's written on. And now that everything's digital, it's not even worth the ones and zeros that it has to maintain. It just now the extended warranty you get from like a dealer or something along those lines, that's a little bit different because they lay out in clear terms exactly what is covered, right? Um, so you're a lot better off getting it from the actual dealer, and dealers do offer extended warranties. You can ask them; they'll be happy to sell you an extended warranty. They can roll it right into your loan, and it is far superior than these fly-by-night warranty services. I talked to one lady once. She says, "Oh yeah, this covers everything. Covers the cooling system. Covers this. Covers that." And I said, "Okay, so on the cooling system, if the radiator hose blows, it covers that?" And she goes, "Oh no, it doesn't cover that." And I said, "Well, why not? Is that not considered part of the cooling system?" She's like, "Well, no, that's considered a rubber line." And I said, "But without that radiator hose, the cooling system can't function. It is physically part of the cooling system. So it says here it covers all components of the cooling system, but a radiator hose is considered part of the cooling system?" She says, "No, not by our definition." And I said, "Well, it sounds to me like you guys got a lot of idiots working for your organization because the radiator hose is 100% part of the cooling system." Now, if they had put in there wear and tear items, which a radiator hose falls underneath a wear and tear item. Technically, everything on a car is wear and tear, right? Which is another part of the verbiage that they use to get away with their scam, right? Well, that was a wear and tear item. Well, everything on a car is a wear and tear item. When you think about it, the seats are wear and tear, the steering wheel is wear and tear. Everything is a wear and tear item. So if you don't cover anything that's a wear and tear, what? Just stay away from those gimmick car warranty things. They never cover anything, and it can literally cause major heartburn trying to get stuff done with them. All right, I'm gonna get off this high horse. I've seen too many of my friends just get slaughtered by these companies, and I'm sick of it. I had one friend ask me the other day, what can I do to save on my auto repairs? And I said, learn how to fix it yourself. That's the only way that you can really learn how to save on your auto repairs. Yeah, just shut up and shut up and live with it. And I know people don't like to hear that where you sit there and say, freaking figure out how to fix it yourself, right? Because even when I fix things for my friends, I mean, sure, I give it to them at a substantial discount because while I used to be a professional at it, I'm not anymore. I know my limitations, and it's going to take me considerably longer than a shop would, right? But at the same time, I may have to go buy 10 tools, and that cuts into my profit margin. So I will usually cut my friends a lot of slack when it comes to working on their cars, but most of the time I'm like, I will help you if you want to learn how to do it. And we'll sit there and I'll show them how to do it. Yeah, monthly subscription. Well, and you know, on that subject matter, you've been hearing how slaughtered Unity has just gotten, right? I mean, their stock like went down into the toilet this last week because of their whole, oh, we're going to charge you for install fees now. So, you know, after so many people installing it, you're going to have to pay X number of dollars for every time it's being installed somewhere. And these developers are like, yeah, it's not going to happen. And a lot of them have already either canceled their contracts or told Unity flat out, yeah, we're not going to be renewing when our contract's up. We're just not going to do it. Well, you know, we want to keep it. They're like, nope, sorry, we can't afford your rate. And, you know, they were saying that it wasn't going to be astronomical. They were saying the most it's going to be for anybody is 20 cents per install. Well, geez, 20 cents per install. You got 1 million people installing that. That's a crap ton of money. You know? They've already paid to you know have access to special libraries and stuff, but now you want to jump down their throats for their customers installing the product? I mean, I don't know how an install fee affects their program, right? But I mean, I get it. Every company's trying to figure out how to make money. But when you do boneheaded things like that, it's just people are done playing these games. They are really just done playing the games. They don't want to do it anymore. I mean, I still can't believe people were dumb enough to do the whole pay to play thing. Oh, all right, I'll check it out. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. A car lease brought into uh, the IT world, right? Um, but you know, with cloud computing, you get some additional benefits, at least with cloud computing. You know, if the network ever goes down, I have somebody that I can pick up the phone and scream at and say, you know, what the heck, you idiots? You're supposed to give me, you know, 5 nines worth of service, and you guys can't even do that. Is that a really good idea? No, yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good meme. I'm gonna have to share that with my friends. Yeah, I have a friend who he's not a big Unity developer. He does a lot of little Unity projects on the side, but he canceled his Unity contract today and is going all Unreal at this point. He's like, I'm just done. He says this isn't the first time they've done shady stuff, and I'm just not that Unity's or that Unreal's even better. I mean, Unreal has some real shady stuff, but they're at least upfront and open about what they're doing. They don't try to hide it like Unity. Unity was trying to hide a lot of stuff under the table that people started catching on to, and it just they were just trying to nickel and dime their developers. And as great of an engine as Unity has become, I think they've pretty much nailed their coffin shut at this point, because it's not looking good for them right now. Their stock is, I think they lost almost what 20-30% of value today, which I mean that's a hard hit. 30% of your value in one day. I mean, this whole game here was developed in Unity, you know. You think, you know, Red Dot Games is going to continue to use Unity? I don't think so. I think they're going to go to some other game design.
It was made in China, so I was expecting it to break, but can you possibly fix it?
I don't even know if we can take this thing apart, son. It may be glued. I can see what I can do, but I think it might be glued.
Okay.
But this is such soft plastic anyway. Even if I were to glue it, it would just break the first time you pull it.
Okay.
So, I mean, we got this from what, the dollar store?
Actually, Connor gave it.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's still, you can just act like you're shooting it. It's still... Yeah, both Kerbal and Kerbal Space Program 2 was developed in Unity. So, I haven't heard anything coming out from those guys, but, you know, it'd be interesting to see if that's a death nail in Kerbal Space Program 2. SimCity 2, or not SimCity, City Skylines 2 is just about ready to be released, and it's all Unity based, right? And you think that Colossal is gonna fall for that? No, they're gonna be like, heck no. We already got millions of pre-orders. We're not gonna freaking pay you guys 20 cents per install. That's insanity. I just used 20 cents because that was the number that was tossed out by Unity for like their top tier, which Colossal Order would fall underneath that top tier. So it's some of the smaller developers I'm sure would be less, but there's like a certain limit. Once they hit like X number of installs, that's when they start charging, right? So if you're under that threshold, they're not going to charge you. But for a game developer, it's like, what happens if I develop a game? I'm just some lone guy in my garage, and I develop a game that I'm giving away for free, and now I have to pay all this install because it's got 40 million downloads off of Google Play. I mean, those are the people that it's going to affect most, are the smaller developers. Because if they get something that really takes off, it's pretty much lights out for them. They'd have to be watching the Apple Store and saying, okay, when I get to this limit, I got to pull this thing off the Apple Store and the Google Play so that I don't have to pay their stupid fee. You know? Anyway, I'll be quiet about this. I'm ranting again. I just know it was a serious hit to Unity today, and it's not looking good. I think they pretty much saw something pretty and said, "Ooh, hey, let's go knock that beehive out of the tree and see what happens." Well, and then there's the big debate about Microsoft and their operating system as a service. I don't know if anybody's read anything about that, but Microsoft is talking about having Windows be a operating service as operating system as a service. So essentially, how that would work is you want to run Windows, you pay X number of dollars every month on the cloud, and you can continue to use the operating system. And then, you know, you stop paying on it, well, then you can no longer run the operating system until you pay again. But, you know, in corporate America, that's, yeah, subscription service. Yeah, yeah, it's exactly. It's well, and see, at work, I don't have a lot of people that I can rant this stuff to, so I work with a bunch of people who know way more about chemistry than I do and are able to haul, you know, 4,000-pound bags of plastic from one end of the rail yard to the other, so. What'd they do to make you mad? Being mad at Windows and Dell, that's an interesting combination. I mean, I get why you should be mad at Windows, because everybody should be mad at Windows. But what does Dell have in your craw for you? Oh, we gotta take all this apart first before I can pull that off. Starting to get tired because I'm making little mistakes. You know, which brings me to the other subject. You know, people are already yelling and screaming about how expensive it is to live and how expensive it is to, you know, stay on top of their expenses. Yet we have companies like MicroSocket and Unity that are saying, oh, hey, you know what? It's tough out here. Pay me more money. And then they wonder why people get mad at them when they tell people, pay me more money. We're already screaming about how we can't pay for what we have, but you're demanding more money from us? That's... Well, I made my operating system free. That's the way Microsoft looks at it. Well, we made our operating system for free, so you guys shouldn't complain. Which is a lie. Yeah, while you can still download it for free, that doesn't mean the operating system itself is free, because without a product key, you're only good for 30 days, and then you gotta reinstall that again. How is that free? I mean, I get it. Everybody needs to make a profit. I'm all for companies making a profit, but when you come up with some boneheaded idea for making money that is designed specifically to leech the customer, that's wrong, you know. So I spend most of my day in, because apparently after 12 years in the company, running Linux on the desktop is now unacceptable. So I had WLS set up and had to do a Windows update and it broke WLS. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that, yeah. Now I am getting a blue screen of death every 1 to 3 days. I think it's a Dell Optimus setup. I mean, you could uninstall all of the Dell Optimus stuff and see if it doesn't get better. I mean, that's essentially what I would do. But it's also not unheard of. You know how Microsoft is. Hey, we're gonna release this untested fix, and everybody who screams is gonna tell us what we've got to do next. And if only a few people scream that something broke, Microsoft is like, eh, all right, we won't bother to fix it. But if a lot of people scream that something broke, Windows is like, yeah, we might get around to fixing it. We might just toss it in the next update, but you're going to have to live with it by now. Just, uninstall your computer and reinstall it. You'll be fine, because, whatever it was probably because your computer needed to be reinstalled anyway. That's the answer Microsoft's giving a lot of people when it comes to them breaking people's machines through an update, right? When the system was running fine before that. It's like my test environment. I had a server that didn't come up from a patch that I ran, and I'm like, what the heck? And I got looking into it and like, well, gall, if I had deployed this patch, it would have just hosed my entire environment. So now I know not to install that patch, even though it's a critical security update. But I'm not going to take the risk of bringing an entire manufacturing plant down because Microsoft can't get their act together. That's okay. They give their operating system away for free, so you should just lay down and take it. But, we're still going to charge you $5.99 for that Xbox. Even though, it's almost 6-year-old technology now. Oh, okay, yeah. So it's just the company security settings have made it difficult. I get it. Well, gee, call your IT department and have them fix it. Oh, that's right. I'm the IT department. I'm the IT department. I need to fix something, but my computer use policy says I can't make any modifications to my system. So, how am I supposed to fix this computer if I can't make any modifications to it? Well, that's not exactly what it says. No, it says right here, modifications to the system. Anytime I make a change to any piece of software, that's a modification to the system. Therefore, I cannot use a computer while working. I didn't write the policy. Somebody else did. You can see I've had that discussion lately. Even after I pointed the verbiage out in the policy, before they revised it and submitted it out to all the employees, and then someone goes to fix a problem, and the head of IT comes down on them because they modified the computer to make the repair, and according to the policy, you can't modify the computer. Actually, I think it was the head of HR. It wasn't head of IT. Because the IT manager was pretty much like, you know what, you guys really want to do this? Okay. We're just going to go sit down over here and let this whole thing come down around you. And we'll just say, hey, we can't fix anything because it's modifying the computers. So that was the first thing I pointed out to him. This verbiage is too general. Well, of course it's doing it too. It was the setting that's the problem, not the hardware. I had to say that to a guy in the lab today. He couldn't figure out why the paper wasn't feeding the way it was supposed to feed, and I said, because it's how you have the printer set up. He's like, no, it has nothing to do with the printer, it's just this thing isn't feeding paper right. And I said, yeah, because of how you have the printer set up. He just didn't want to hear it. Only go into IT if you have a real thick skin, guys, because there are some organizations that just do not have it together. And then you get these new young bucks coming in saying, I'm going to rewrite all the policies for this entire corporation. And then wonder why all of us old guys are sitting there going, no. Are you just not used to change? No, we're not used to stupidity. That's what we're not used to. Yeah, I've had that conversation recently too. The executives are clinically obsessed with the data. Yes, and security is quietly so I am no longer able to run Synergy. Oh, great, yeah. Between my desktop and because it has a shared clipboard, yeah. Well, the entirety of my laptop to my desktop. Oh, no, they can absolutely take SSH away from you. It's just, at that point, you just say, well, great. I guess something needs to be done. I can't do it because you took a tool away from me. No, they can absolutely take stuff away from you. It's the question is, are they smart enough not to? That's really what it boils down to. Because if they're not smart enough to understand why they shouldn't take it away from you, then you need to explain to them and demonstrate to them why they shouldn't take it away from you. This is kind of what strikes are all about, right? I don't know why I tagged that tire. Well, I guess we need that tire. You know, the whole strike that's going on right now with the automotive unions is because the corporations are like, no, we can't really, you know, car sales are not the best and blah blah blah, and we can't really make a profit on things. And that's because all of the workers are sitting here screaming, well, yeah, you guys are trying to push electric vehicles and nobody wants the damn things. So yeah, of course your sales are in the toilet. Yeah, but you know, the government says we need to do, well, you know what? Maybe what we need to do is toss up a big middle finger to the government and say no. And when they try and tax you, you give them a big middle finger again and say no. And then when they drag you to court, you sit there and go to the judge and say no. It's unconstitutional. It kind of surprised me someone in security would actually be asking that question. Um, just because he should have been able to figure that one out, right? Because your WSL should still have the same host name as your actual laptop. And all he has to do is look at host and go, And then it traveled from the same IP address to the same IP address. Yeah, but see, you can't use that phrase anymore because apparently it's too violent. That phrase is too violent, so you can't use that anymore. Oh, geez, I got 1 more minute left of my stream. Why do I have 4 shock absorber caps? Alright, let's see if I can get by with 2 of them for now. Do I need 4 of those? We'll get 4 of them. I'm going to probably regret it. We're going to probably need 12 of these. Because 11 just seems like too weird of an odd number. Yeah, something like that. I don't know exactly what the number is. I'm not sure it's 15K, but I do know that they're losing money on pretty much all of their EVs because I guess there's like the government rebate or whatever, and then they take that off the cost, and then Ford goes back to the government and gets it's a whole thing. So they're probably losing money on the front end, but they're gaining a whole crap ton of it back on the back end, right? Um, just because if they were losing, you know, grundles and grundles of money, they probably would be a little less willing to sell EVs. But right now, it's like, hey, push all EVs, probably because they're getting a crap ton of money on the back end. don't know why everything is triplicate here, or is quadrupled here. That doesn't make it. I don't think I stabbed it that many times, did I? This thing's got me. It's like it doubled up on everything. Was I just moving that slow? I don't know. It says I need 4 of those. I think I only need 2 of those. I definitely need... No, I only need 2 of those. Did I not sell all my... Maybe I had tagged them all before and then re-tagged them again. I think that's probably what's happened here. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's what's happened here. Is I had tagged these at one point in time and then... I guess it would be 12, huh? Because it is a 12 cylinder. Are overstating their range. Yeah, an article I read earlier this week was a gal who was complaining that her Tesla left her stranded. It said she had 10 miles left on her charge, and really what it boils down to is she herself was just an idiot because you know how many charging stations did she pass before she got to that 10 miles, right? You know she had to have passed at least one, possibly 2 before she got that message. And you know, I know that Tesla calculates everything out and says, you know, you can go this distance to this charging station, blah 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 blah. But it shows you all the other charging stations on the way, right? If I'm driving in my car and that fuel light comes on, I pull in and get gas. It's the same with electric vehicles. That thing says you've got 50 miles. You go pull in and you find yourself a charging station. You don't. It just tells me how stupid so many people are. I just. It's like that guy who drove into the lake because the GPS told him to. These are machines, okay? It just an example as to how many people will be controlled when AIs take over the world, right? Because they're already listening to them. Regardless, it just. Well, I don't want want to be out here. They just don't want to get lost. You know, I scrutinize my GPS. I scrutinize every last bit of my GPS. I will look at that route 2 or 3 times before I ever even decide to head out. And I will look at it and say, is there a better way? And I will play with things, and I will make little adjustments here and there. Oh, look, I saved myself 15 miles, and it's only going to it's only going to take me 2 minutes longer to get there. You know, it's people are listening to machines that are programmed by inferior means, right? A computer can only run as well as it's been programmed to run. And you can't fix stupid. Well, yeah, and that's Darwin tried, but we took that away from him by putting labels on everything. So, you know, it's and I've had a lot of people sit there and tell me, "Oh, you're just so negative about this stuff." Well, yeah, you're darn right I'm negative, because I'll tell you, it seems to me that 9 times out of 10, somebody gets a wild hair up their butt and decides, you know what? I'm going to do it this way. And then when they do it that way, they discovered, maybe I shouldn't have done it that way, because it kind of seems counterintuitive. Should we get 4 of those tires? I think so. 235 60-15s. That's a size I'm familiar with. 235 60-15s. You know, and a lot of people sit there and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You know what? I probably don't. But, you know, been on this planet a long time. I've seen a lot of stupid stuff. And I know stupidity when I see it. And, you know, sugarcoat things however you want to sugarcoat things. In the end, don't listen to computers. Computers aren't your friends. They're designed to process ones and zeros. That's all they're designed to do. They don't care whether you exist or not. They just don't. So stop listening to computers. I don't even know why we're... okay, I get why we're developing AI. I really do. I really understand the need for AI. Because if we're ever going to do deep space exploration, we are going to need AI. We would just have to have AI. Because we cannot do it without some sort of artificial intelligence. But to put AI in every facet of our life, that's insanity. That's stupidity. Okay? And that's the direction everybody goes. They're just like, oh, AI is going to write my entire book report for me. Then what are you getting out of it, right? People have completely stopped thinking for themselves. Which is part of the reason why when I sit there and talk, they're like, well, you're an idiot. Well, no, you're the idiot, because you're not even thinking for yourself. You've listened to some 30-second soundbite on the radio, and you've listened to what some, you know, non-thinking conformist is telling you. Always remember, every conspiracy, regardless of how crazy it sounds, has some truth to it. It just does. No matter how insane the conspiracy theory sounds, it's got some truth to it. Yeah, they're totally turning into an idiocracy. I mean, we've got big tech canceling people because they say something. The big tech's like, nope, you can't say that. And it's like, why? It's an opinion. If I prove what you're saying wrong, you'll sit there and say, oh, well, it's just an opinion. But if I say it because it proves something else is wrong that goes against your ideology, it's wrong to say when it's just an opinion? And that's very one-sided, right? It's an indication that somebody doesn't want to hear it because they're afraid you might be right. That's the whole reason behind it. They don't want to be wrong, so they don't want to hear what you have to say. Because, by damn, they might be wrong. And you might be right. And we can't have that in this society because nobody can be told that they're wrong. Everybody's got to have their little trophy. Everybody's got to feel good. Show me anywhere in the history of the world it says you must live a life of feeling nothing but good, happy thoughts your entire life. Show me where that's written. Show me. Oh, see, I just got canceled because I proved somebody wrong because they couldn't show me where it was written that... There's a reason why we have the phrase, buck up, buttercup. Put your big boy panties on, which is a valid term now, you know. I don't care how you want to swing it. Put your big boy panties on now is a totally legitimate term because if you want to try and cancel me on that, you're attacking every transgendered person out there who's actually putting on their big boy panties or their big girl panties. Okay, let's if we're gonna jump this ship, let's jump this ship, right? Exactly, like forcing me to give my pronouns is a microaggression. My microaggression is verbotuned because it doesn't fit the narrative. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying, right? You can't. Again, it boils down to you can't say it because it hurts my feelings, but I can say it because I don't give a rat's ass about your feelings, right? So it doesn't hurt them, therefore it's okay to say. But you say it and it hurts my feelings. Oh, boo-hoo. But, you know, you hurting my feelings, why can't it go that direction, right? Alright, I've ranted on about this enough. I just need to be quiet about it. I had someone comment the other day on one of my YouTube videos that they were going to have me demonetized. And I said, well, I'm not monetized now, so hey, mission accomplished. Yeah, they didn't like that. That really that ruffled their feathers something fierce. It was hilarious watching them come completely unglued about that. It's like, okay, I'm not monetized, so hey, look, you won. It's like that was not the reward he wanted. How many of these did I put in that were already damaged? Oh, okay, so I need 2 more. I guess I didn't buy enough of those. Yeah, I need to buy some rims too. Yeah, after I told him that he won, he got all hostile. And he's like, well, this is why you're such a small YouTube channel. I said, yep, to avoid people like you. That got him even more mad. Point is, his voodoo wasn't working on me, and I think he realized that it was just better for him to walk away and admit that I said he won than to sit there and try and force the issue so I can make him look like a total and complete schmuck. And that's a term that's not used often enough, schmuck. We need to use the word schmuck more. Oh, but it's such a derogatory term. Well, show me a derogatory term that's better than that, and we'll go with it. Well, why do we have to use a derogatory term at all? Well, because your stupidity kind of warrants it. Did I say that out loud? I shouldn't have said that out loud. See, that's one of the things about getting older. When you get to a certain age, you just start looking around and it's like, why do I even care anymore, right? Why? It has no effect on me whatsoever. So you take me off social media. Whoop-de freaking-do. That's not what dictates my life. Well, I'm gonna get you fired from your company. Well, I don't know. It would have to be pretty drastic because my company pretty much knows what kind of person I am. And apparently it don't bother them at all. So... the majority of things I say aren't racist, and they're not, bigoted. They're not. And then if I do say something that is one of those things, I'm not intending it in the context that you think I'm intending it. It was either part of a conversation I was having with somebody, or, people talk, they communicate. I'm not going to sit there and edit my entire world to have a conversation with somebody. That's how world wars start, right there. That's... What? What, Lady Bird? Do you want to go up and lay down? Huh? Is that your problem? Or is Polly just bugging the crap out of you? Polly, knock it off. Polly, come lay down. Come on. Come lay down. Go on. Well, uh, uh, the most racist and the most sensitive, right?
they're the ones that are literally, you say something to hurt their feelings, they're gonna sit there and yell and scream that, oh, you hurt me, you hurt me. And you know, you can't help but sit there and laugh at somebody being so dang childish. You know, if I would have known my life was gonna be, trying to avoid all the 5-year-olds in my life when I became an adult, I would have just, you know, stayed 10 years old. Most people think I'm an idiot anyway. And you know, maybe I am. I don't. Are there other people out there who have a lot better viewpoints and opinions than I do? Yeah, they're on the radio. They're in government. But does that mean that those viewpoints are correct and proper and everyone should listen to them? No. Nobody should listen to anybody else. You should be able to form your own opinions without listening to anybody. And that's part of the problem. You know, I've openly admitted to people, don't ever listen to anything I say, because what I have to say is my own opinion, and it likely won't jive with what your opinion is, and that's all great, fine, and good. That's why we're different individuals. But if you're going to hang your entire universe on what I have to say, you're living for the wrong reason. Because I have openly admitted time and time again, I am an idiot, and nobody should be listening to me. But yet people listen. I don't know why they do it. I don't know. I just try to be nice to people. That's all I try and do. That's all I can do. If I try and do anything else, it's, you know, it hurts me as a person. But that's just me. So, again, what do I know? I'm an idiot. Let's put this dog bone in. I think I'm going to finish up this thing and call it a night, guys, because I'm already half an hour over. Because people get me monologuing and I don't pay attention to the time. I thought I needed to purchase that. Like me, you're a wise idiot. Oh. Yeah, no, you're 100% correct on that with the Larry Elder and Uncle Tom stuff. That's, and you know, okay, if you have to go that far back for an example of how someone is behaving, then you are just out to hurt people. That is all it is. I mean, those are, that is taking it really, really far back. I mean, almost, you know, 60, 70 years, you know? Well, you're not my color, so you just don't understand. You know what? You're not my color, so you don't understand. You want to sit there and play that game? Let's play that little freaking game, right? Don't sit there and tell me I've been given everything, because I haven't. I have had to bust my ass to get where I'm at. And if you, well, you've just had better opportunities. No, I haven't. I have some severe learning disabilities. That has not given me an advantage. Now, am I better off than the person who, you know, can't necessarily function because of a mental disability? No, I'm definitely better off than them. But I mean, when it comes to reading and when it comes to paying attention to detail, I'm not your guy. The fact that I read as good as I do is because of the skills that I have made myself. No teacher taught them to me, because teachers couldn't be bothered to educate me because I was just too big of a problem. I had to learn it by myself. Nobody's life is better or worse than anybody else's if you're trying to compare an orange to a plum. Everybody's had it bad, everybody's had it good. And if there's someone out there who says, I've never had it great, well, you know what? I never said had it great. I said had it good. You're alive. That's having it good. Didn't I add those other parts? I could have swore I added those other parts. I don't know. I guess I just need to be quiet about this because I'm just breathing air down into nothing now. Yeah, I didn't buy that. People get me monologuing, and it does nothing but hurt them. The thing is that left is very emotional. I, I I wouldn't say it's brainwashing, um, but no, there's definitely the school system is set up to demand that you conform to what they're teaching because they are the authority on it, which they're really not. They're just regurgitating something that somebody told them. Okay? None of them wrote dissertations. None of them, well, I guess I can't say none of them. There are some college professors who have PhDs and have written dissertations and have, you know, actually got doctorate degrees. But oh, because I'm missing the okay. I'm tired. My point is I have a very difficult time trusting an educator. And it is mostly because educators didn't want anything to do with me. I was a problem to them because they did not know how to teach me. So They pushed me off to the side, said, we can't deal with you. It's your own fault that you don't want to learn, when that wasn't the case. They didn't know how to handle my situation. Well, not all teachers are like that. You know what? I don't care. I really don't care. Because if you want to sit there and say not all teachers are like that, then you need to sit there and accept that not all white people are racist, not all black people are racist, not all Hispanics are, you know, framers, day workers, illegals. I mean, this is the point. Where does it freaking stop? You know, it's got to stop somewhere, and it's got to stop with education. Because education is 99% of the problem. They sit there and they say, well, you're white, so you've got to learn this way, and you're black, so you've got to learn this way. Well, that's not the situation at all. These teachers have got to learn. Everybody learns differently. And yeah, it's an impossible task. Teaching kids is not easy. I was an adjunct teacher for a high school for 2 years. It's not easy. They're a bunch of nut jobs. But the idea is to figure out who they are, and then when you're teaching, focus on something that's going to get that student's attention so he's paying it, so he's listening, right? Or do something that they're going to understand so that they become interested. I don't know. I keep saying I'm going to be quiet about this, but I just keep going on with it. I'm just in one of those moods to where it's like, you know, and I hope that, you know, one day somebody sees this video and says, you know what? He's kind of right. People are a bunch of nut jobs. But that's probably what's not going to happen. It's probably going to ignite my comment section and my account will be banned. But hey, you know, that just, for the record, for when that happens, that just proves the quality and level of people that don't want to listen to somebody else's opinion and have their minds so closed off that they are 100% unwilling to accept that somebody thinks different than they do. That they have a different life experience than they do. And that the majority of problems are people are so stinking self-centered that they can't get out of their own way fast enough to correct the problem. Am I the best person on the planet? No. I have my faults. Everybody has their faults. There's not a single person alive today that is perfect. There just isn't. And if you think you are, then you got yourself a real serious problem. Now, why do I have 5 rims? I learned early on, I was probably about maybe, I think I was probably about 11 years old. And I was hearing my grandmother tell a story. And, you know, I had always held my grandmother to a certain esteem level, right? I had always loved my grandmother's opinion, but when she had said this thing, they have no desire to get out of their own way. They give up. Yeah, no, that is extremely true. But back to my story. My grandmother, I can't remember exactly what she was talking about, but she was talking about either a friend of theirs or one of our extended family members or something. But um, she was in the middle of the story and she says, "Well, I just can't believe what they had done. It just makes me aghast as to what they have done to their lives and how it's going to affect them in the long term." And I'm sitting there going, "Well, what exactly did they do?" And she was like, "Well, you know, they're dating that colored person." And I'm like, "Why is that a problem?" And my grandmother just kind of gasped like I had said 100% the wrong thing, you know? But seriously, I was 11 years old. I couldn't wrap my head around why it would be a problem because I mean, growing up, I had several kids in the neighborhood that, you know, we had some Latinos, we had some blacks, we had people from, we had one family that was from Iran, we had another family that was from, uh, uh, not Naboo, what's the name of that country? Naboo's the Star Trek one, or Star Wars one. And it's not Nigeria, it's Nairobi. Nairobi, yeah, they were from Nairobi. Um, but you know, it was a very well blended, you know, environment that I grew up in. So it, as a young child, I didn't see any difference between the kids I was interacting with and you know what was going on there. But to my grandmother, it was like the worst thing ever. And it was at that point to where I'm like, is it just the generation she grew up in, or is there something more to this? And it just, at that point, I was like, I will never be that kind of person. I cannot be that kind of person. It's not. Oh yeah, the battery's still over on the battery charger. So, yeah, that's. And I try really, really hard to, you know, be kind and courteous and nice to everyone. It's just the way it was. Yeah, and I do think a lot of it was their generation. I mean, she was of that. She was born in 1920 and she grew up all the way through the 30s, 40s, 50s, and that's, I mean, that was right at the heart of the civil rights movement, you know. So, but you would think that she would have learned something from that, right? That was when I realized that people can have a very big closed mind for all the wrong reasons, right? Um, and this is what I say: if you don't like my opinion, that's absolutely fine. Don't like my opinion, but don't sit there and put me down because you don't like my opinion. Sit there and ask yourself, what is it about my opinion that you don't like? Because that's the only way you're going to learn anything about yourself. Um, you know, every single time something hits me and it's like, you know, that I found that kind of offensive, I ask myself straight out, why did I find that offensive? What was it that I found offensive? 9 times out of 10, it always boils down to it's something inside me that's the problem, not that person. You know, because the majority of the time, they didn't mean it that way. But for some reason, my brain took it that way. And That's where the problem lies. Nobody is. I guess I can't say nobody is intending to be out there hurting other people's feelings, because there are people like that. But if you're having a conversation with somebody and they say something and it bugs you, that's on you, not them. That's your problem. Unless they legitimately came up, stuck their finger in your face and said, "Hey, you're nothing but a blah 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 blah," then yeah. But if they're just having a normal conversation saying, "Hey, you know, my neighbor next door, he sits there and plays some of the worst hip hop music," you know, that's there's some people who find that offensive. Oh, they're playing hip hop music. Well, they must be those kind of people. I don't know. It's just the music they like. It's like earlier today. I said, "Hey, look, AC/DC made an appearance," and it pissed somebody off. It's like, that's the music of the devil. Okay, whatever. I haven't heard that since the 80s. Anyway. I think I'm wearing myself out. I just hope one day somebody watches this video and actually... I tell people not to listen to me because I'm an idiot, but I really hope that someday somebody listens to that and takes it to heart and says, yeah, you know, maybe the problem is with me and not with, you know, Bob. You can't give offense. Offense can only be taken. Yeah, and that's the other thing, and that's why I say it's always something inside that person that they're not willing to address. Because again, if they address it, they might find out that they're wrong about something, right? That's really what it boils down to, is people just don't want to be wrong. They can't take being wrong. I think we got everything. One hundred. So the rest is interior. Okay. I think we can sell all this. Ooh, we've got a lot of extras. I guess that's why we have 5 rims. Because we had 5 tires. I really overbought on the rubber bushings, didn't I? Yeah, I got both caps on there. Anyway, I'm going to start bringing this to a close. We're going to go send this thing to the paint booth. We'll get it painted up. We'll run it through the dyno. Then I think we're going to call it a night. I'm already, you know, almost 3 hours into this, so I think we're going to end this special stream of me ranting for an hour and a half about other people's insecurities. Because, you know, that's always the best way to have a video. I guess I bought another one of those too. Alright, you come down here, we'll go warehouse 4, we'll go here. And we'll go here, go back in here to warehouse 1. We want to drop the Steyr off. And we'll sell everything else. Oh, license plate. Why is that not showing up in here? There, now when we come back in, I won't have a bunch of inventory and stuff that... To the paint booth. To the paint booth. Yeah, I mean it has been us, but a lot of people can't hear you, so it's mostly just been me. I don't know why my chat's not showing up on screen. I gotta go into my extensions and figure out that. I just have not had time this week to focus on it. I just haven't. I do like that gray. It's a pretty nice gray color. Alright, let's see what we got interior wise here. Interior disassembly. Disassemble, Stephanie. Stephanie always had nice software. Interior is still 20%. Just go in here. We want to go tag, tag, and tag. We need a steering wheel for this too. This is a right-hand drive vehicle. How did I not recognize that before? Huh. Alrighty. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's mostly a new job. I'm so overloaded with trying to map the environment and learn everything and all their little who's its and what's its and their really wild convoluted way of setting up a computer, and there's absolutely no reason why it should take literally 10 hours to set up a workstation. I mean, we're talking you take it out of the box, you wipe the whole OS off, and from that point, you are setting up the whole system for 10 hours. Because you've got to create this, you got to create that, you got to go into here, you got to submit this form, you've got to do this, then you got to pass it off to this team, let them do this, then they. It shouldn't be that hard. Only making 38,000 on this thing. Let's take it to the dyno. Should produce the exact horsepower that it was designed to produce. Hey, look at that. The numbers are exactly as they should be. Which that would never happen, but okay. We're not gonna go into that rant about how you can build 3 motors and all 3 of the motors perform slightly differently. I mean, we're just not gonna go into that mechanical. Well, how did they come up with those numbers then? Well, because they took the average of all the engines and put them together. That's how they came up with that. You don't believe me? Look it up. That's how they do it in the auto industry. Sure, I mean, it's not going to be like a drastic difference, but you can have like a 3 to 4, sometimes a 5 horsepower variance between the same motor. Uh, you know, you put 4 Chev 350s right next to each other, and you put all 4 of those on the dyno, they're gonna have different numbers, every single one of them. So, alrighty, guys. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed my rant. If you didn't enjoy my rant, then go watch it again and complain on YouTube. If you like the rant, go ahead and hit all those little bee boopies and subscribes and whatnots, and maybe we'll rant again later, and we'll see everybody later.